off the coast of modern-day Portugal during the late Jurassic period. The sun's golden rays illuminate the early morning sky. By this time, the Earth is not as unbearably dry as the early Triassic 50 million years prior. This is the age of the dinosaurs. They dominate every continent, and their relatives fill the seas. Ancient marine reptiles. These are Brachypterygius, a type of ichthyosaur. They have short, stumpy bodies, and they are exceptionally sharp. They were likely one of the fastest groups of marine predators. Amongst the everlasting forests of kelp, hundreds of small fish lay low, away from these nighttime hunters. Brachypterygius are a smaller lineage of reptiles in the ichthyosaur family. They are the prehistoric dolphins, with research showing that they air-breathed and likely stuck together in packs, especially while hunting. Their diet would have strictly consisted of fish, with minimal scavenging possible in these aquatic regions. Sudden bursts of pace being enough to catch a meal. But something else is lurking in the gloom. The deep prehistoric seas are home to some of the most fearsome predators of all time. Much like the sea and land, the Jurassic air is teeming with life, and once again, the dominant animals are reptiles. This is Ctenochasma, meaning comb jaw. It uses its membrane-thin wings to drift across the ever-changing warm air currents that exist by the coast, swooping down to catch a meal whenever possible. These pterosaurs are the majesty of the skies, effortlessly stretching their 2-metre wingspans over Europe's islands of green. This is a male Ctenochasma, identifiable by the coloured crest at the back of his head. Male pterosaurs use these colours to compete for a mate during the mating season, and it is soon. His wings acting as canvases for incredible displays of colour. However, on land they are dwarfed by dinosaurs. Tyrannosaurus, the largest animal ever to walk across these European coasts. It has a 30-metre frame, needed to support weights that could exceed 50 tons. This is a herd comprised primarily of females. They are on their way to a nesting site north of here, where they will lay their eggs in the soft mud before abandoning the youngsters to their fate. Many of the pterosaurs will lay upwards of 20 eggs, mass producing the next generation of giants. Such a cruel yet effective strategy has allowed sauropods to become the most dominant of all the dinosaurs. They have found rest under the cover of a small canopy of cycad trees. Travelling day and night is a hard ask, especially when they need to consume around 400 kilograms of food per day. The plant life during the Jurassic was neither nutritious nor calorific. This meant that some of the largest herbivores could spend 12 to 18 hours a day just eating. A carnivore, Allosaurus. Unlike herbivores, they do not have the luxury of an abundance of easy food. His last meal was days ago, although bringing down an enormous sauropod would keep him fed for weeks. But with the herd on full alert during the day, he knows this is a bad time to attack. In this golden age of the Jurassic, sauropods are almost too large to be threatened, with Allosaurus being amongst the few pursuers. Many large herbivorous dinosaurs had peg-shaped teeth, not fit for chewing and grinding up tough fibrous plants. To counteract that, many will swallow large stones known as gastroliths. These will internally grind up the food within their stomach, allowing them to digest an unimaginable amount of food. As the mid-morning sun stretches its rays across the Tethys Seaway, a group of male Brachypterygius are marking their territory. Suddenly something lurking in the deep scatters the pack. Cymolestes, a giant pliosaur. A wide jaw that could trap prey, and 4 powerful flippers propelling its bulk. Its skull is perfectly designed to resist twisting and straining, perfectly designed to kill. This is an older female. She is over 40 years old and is battle-hardened. The Brachypterygius are far too speedy for her, especially since she has not set up an ambush. Although the Cymolestes is not here for them. she would much prefer this juvenile Cryptoclydus. It is far more inexperienced and far more likely to panic. Cryptoclydus are generally fast creatures, but when you have never been chased in your life, it is easy to make mistakes. He must call upon every instinct he has in order to escape. A sudden dart sets him off. The Simolestes is in hot pursuit. A narrow escape for the juvenile Cryptoclydus. The Simolestes must wait for another opportunity. The shallower parts of the ocean play host to large coral reefs. These attract a wide variety of marine life that feed off the sea plants that grow here. As larger fish and crustaceans are drawn in, so too are the sea's most accurate hunters. These inland seas are so shallow that the waters here are around 30 degrees Celsius, allowing them to be rich in life. The Jurassic had some of the most abundant aquatic environments, with corals, sponges and invertebrates thriving. The Brachypterigius base their diet on whatever fish and aquatic life they can find in these shallow seas. During the day, they are like many animals, enjoying the sun and staying alert for opportunities. Rarely do they hunt at this time. It is likely that they had darker skin patterning and some form of counter-shading. This would have made them incredibly difficult to spot at night. These large shoals of fish are aware of the Brachypterigius' presence. She is not currently a danger. By day they enjoy the warm rays from the sun, but as night falls, it is a different story. One of the features that separates them from other marine reptiles is their abnormally large eyes. This allows them to see in extremely dark conditions, making them excellent night hunters. As they travel, they look to break up a large shoal. In these gloomy conditions, light from the moon seldom gives the fish away. The Brachypterigius must be intelligent. Fluidly separating, they scatter the fish, turning the hunt into a choreographed dance of motion and instinct. A display created by the ocean's most efficient hunters. In these offshore areas, the sea mist rests on the plant life, providing important nutrients for herbivorous dinosaurs. These are Draconyx, the dragon claw. Despite its appearance, it belongs to the iguanodontid family, existing some 30 million years before Iguanodon would dominate Europe's landscape. Herds like these comprise of one lead member, who is responsible for keeping a lookout for predators, whilst the others eat. They are very nimble creatures, and sticking together like this allows them to communicate with one another. Many studies on herbivorous dinosaurs show that they could form social interactions that go beyond calls, indicating the herd are in danger. Much like Iguanodon themselves, Draconyx use their small beaks to pluck plants from their stems and then chew the food, unlike the eating habits of sauropods. Bathing in the gentle glow of the Jurassic sun, they continue to graze, oblivious to the potential threats lurking in the shadows. The allosaur is back. In the distance, a slow rumbling interrupts the predator's gaze. A huge herd of Miragaia have been drawn to the replenished pasture. Large armoured dinosaurs are uncommon across Europe's many islands. Many of the most famous armoured dinosaurs originate in Asia and North America. These Miragaia are an exception, and are amongst the most common in these parts. Despite being a modest version of their Jurassic relative Stegosaurus, they are still an unwanted opposition for a carnivore. Sometimes these large forests turn into a maze, and it is very easy for these lumbering giants to become lost. However, for them, this is merely a minor inconvenience. For the Draconyx, the arrival of a larger herd could provide safety, however they rely on audio cues, and with the constant trumpeting calls from the Miragaia, this could prove to be dangerous. The herd are resting out on the prairie. Their large body and tail spikes providing an excellent deterrence against any predators. The sun begins to set over the coasts, and many of the forest's inhabitants are sleeping and unaware. This is the perfect opportunity for an ambush. The Draconyx have noticed a change in the air, the scent of something unfamiliar. The allosaur is closing in. The startled herd panic and separate, but the 9-metre carnivore already has his sights set. With a swift bite, the allosaur's serrated teeth puncture the draconic skin. A long-awaited meal, enough to keep him going for another few days. The life of a carnivore gets no easier. Back in the open sea, there is a different event taking place. However, this one aims to bring about new life. A group of adult Cryptoclydus. At full size, they are 4 meters long, and though they are slow, they are still agile enough to ambush most prey. This female Cryptoclydus is much larger than some of the others. She is pregnant. Unlike other sea creatures like turtles, ancient marine reptiles do not go onto land to lay eggs. Rather, they give birth to live young. It is a dangerous process. There are large predators, many of which can smell blood from a long distance. Luckily, she is not alone. She is with many more of her kind. Cryptoclydus don't often travel together in large groups. 2 or 3 is often enough to provide safety from predators. But a few times a year, many of the Cryptoclydus will migrate to shallower, warmer waters inland. This is to give birth in the most safe environment for their young. As they come towards the shore, they travel over thousands of tiny ecosystems, each flourishing with life. The birth cannot wait any longer. It is a painful yet relatively short experience, and the rewards are well worth it. Now it's a race to the surface. This juvenile must make it there as quick as he can, instincts driving his helpless body forwards. The young Cryptoclydus tastes the salty air for the first time. And there are many more like him. He has a lot to learn about the dangers of this aquatic world. But for now, he is safe from the dangers that lurked before we walked. In the next episode, we travel forward 26 million years to the coasts of modern-day England.